Hello and
Cool.
welcome. Welcome to another SOULution Sunday, because the soul is the SOULution. I'm Lisa Warner. I'm the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing and creator of SOULution Sunday. And SOULution Sunday is a way that we get together and we start talking about SOULutions, and we start talking about living from the soul. And today, we have the most beautiful guest. Her name is Nicole Dizon, and she is an esthetician. The name of her business is Natural Beauty. And there's nobody more natural and beautiful than Nicole in my mind. So Nicole, thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Lisa, for having me. When you asked me to come on here, I couldn't be more excited. It truly feels like a gift to be here with you. So I'm excited. Best way to start my Sunday already.
Yay, we love that. Like having our little coffee. I got mushroom coffee. What kind of coffee you got?
Nice.
Got tea?
I mixed rose because it reminded me of you. I mixed rose and a cup of sunshine. That was the name of the tea. So I mixed those two together.
Oh, I love that. I have
Thank
mushroom
you.
coffee.
I like your mug. It's so cute.
Oh, isn't that pretty? It was a gift.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, a friend gave me these as a gift. So we have Keith this morning with us. Hola, Keith. Good morning.
Hi, Keith.
So Nicole, we're talking about natural beauty. You know, in this world where beauty is airbrushed everywhere, that's kind of the standard of beauty. We see the models and the actresses and, you know, and everything that is really a very distorted perception of beauty. It's very superficial. So what is natural beauty to you?
Natural beauty. Well, growing up, I remember being a woman and growing up as you get older, you start to hear things. These people start to feed you things, make you feel like you need to buy this cream to make you look a certain way. You need to buy this eyeshadow to make your eyes sparkle, things like that. And I'm actually very thankful that growing up, my mom would always tell me, ever since I was little, she would tell me, if you're going to wear makeup, you have to do it so you're not covering yourself or hiding yourself or changing how you look, but you want to enhance what you already have. And she'd always tell me the prettiest thing a person can wear is their smile. No matter what, nothing can compare to just a genuine smile. And I think growing up, I've had struggles with how I view myself and, having self-confidence. But I noticed that throughout my time or throughout my journey of trying to find self-confidence, it helped a lot when I started to nurture the inside of myself. I feel like as much as I could curl my hair or put on a full face of makeup, nothing compared to being in tune with myself, for taking time and looking at myself in the mirror and saying, hey, I like your eyes today. Hey, you have a really beautiful smile. And feeding those things that really make you feel good and warm on the inside. Because once you start to feel that warmth, that glow on the inside, it shows outwards. I remember, it was a video, I've seen it recently, where someone was saying how recently she just changed her mindset of saying, hey, every single day I'm just gonna wake up and think I'm the most beautiful person in the whole world. I'm just gonna keep telling myself that every single morning. And as she kept that mentality, every single day someone would be like, did you lose weight? Hey, like, did you change your hair? Did you set a new outfit? And she's like, I didn't change anything. If anything, I gained weight. I'm wearing the same clothes I wore yesterday. Like, nothing's changed. But it's that belief of knowing that you're beautiful. It shows externally and people start to feel that. It becomes an energetic thing where people see that beauty illuminate, and you don't need anything to cover or change that. Everything you have is already within you. You just got to bring that out.
Right? Oh my gosh, I love that. I lived that story as well for years, decades. Like I never, I've always had like this big nose, my teeth have been a little crooked, and and I would always see those things. And I would look around and I would see these other girls that, were the beautiful ones, the popular ones in school, and that wasn't me. And, I just had this perception of myself that I was ugly, and nothing nothing actually ever changed that. I just always inside felt that my face was just really ugly. And I remember I don't know, it was probably 10 years. I don't know how long ago it was. It wasn't that all that long ago, that I was just so low and feeling so horrible about myself. And I woke up one morning and I just thought, what if I just tried beauty? What if I just tried using the word beauty instead of ugly? What would happen? And little by little, I started to change, and that ugly went away. I still don't look at myself and go, oh my gosh, so beautiful. Like but I feel the beauty inside, and that radiance, that inner radiance, that warmth, that's like the light in the heart that shines outward. And people see that more than they see the face.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I completely agree. And I feel like it's so common that if we are in that phase of feeling like we're not enough, it'll never be enough. You can always spend money on this and that, and you always feel like you're constantly chasing something. And one day you're just gonna sit and think like, I'm tired of like trying to find all these answers externally when the answer's already here. I just gotta dig deep and find it. It's definitely a journey for sure. But once you find that, it feels so much more liberating than feeling like you need to find an external reason to justify your beauty.
Exactly. So being an esthetician, you're really in the beauty world. So
Hmm.
how did that come about?
So wow, I've always been interested in skin. Growing up, I suffered with really bad eczema. I used to have it all over my face and my body. And although it didn't look nice, I still didn't feel good. I felt really like just like not good in my skin. I felt very uncomfortable. And growing up, kids would kind of like point it out, or they didn't have the intention of making me feel bad, but sometimes things are said and it sticks with you. So I've always had an interest in skin and trying to take care of myself, so I just felt good and I felt healthy and I felt safe in my body. Um, but it was after high school, I was going through a really rough a lot of mental struggles. I'm dealing with depression, anxiety, really, really bad anxiety. And I was just going through a lot, basically, long story short. And in January of 2016, I went to the Philippines with some family. I believe we went for my dad's birthday or something. And when we went, my mom was like, hey, like, let's go get some facials. And I was just like, what's that? Like, I don't really want to, I don't know what that is. But she's like, come on, just come with us. And me, I was kind of still in a mental funk. I didn't think that I was good enough to be taken care of. I was kind of just thinking like, why? Like, someone's gonna take care of me. Like, I don't know. It just sounded like very uneasy and very anxious. And I just didn't want to be vulnerable with somebody. But my mom just said, come on, let's go. Like, you're not doing anything, so you might as well. So we went to the spa over there, and I was separated from my mom. So I was just by myself. I believe my cousin was with me, but she was a little further down. And I was laying on the massage table getting ready for my facial. And since I was in the Philippines, I don't really speak Tagalog. I understand very little, but I don't understand it too much. So my esthetician that was working on me, she didn't speak English too well, but just enough where we can communicate a little bit. And I remember I was laying down and then she put her hand on my shoulders and she's like, you can relax. It's okay, breathe. Like, I think she could sense my energy that I was feeling just accumulating on the way there. And right when she told me, she's like, you're safe. You can close your eyes. You can breathe. You're okay. You're safe. I just started crying. And I think it was just the feeling that I could just let go and I can just close my eyes and the lights were off and no one was paying attention to me. No one was judging me or questioning why I was there or thinking, oh, she doesn't deserve that. Like, I was just there. And here's this woman who was so willing to take care of me and didn't even know me. And she could tell me that I was safe. And I felt protected by her, just being in her hands, and my eyes were closed. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful space. And honestly, that moment kind of just changed my life forever. I feel like as soon as I got back to my dad's house after that facial, I was searching up skincare programs in the Bay Area of California. I was searching because I was like, wow, like this woman made me feel so special, so like worthy of being taken care of, so worthy of being nurtured. And it was far more, it was way more deeper than skin. If I felt like the way, like when she would massage me, I felt like I was meant to just let go of all the tension, and it just felt so much more holistic than just it being surface level. So that's kind of just how I got into aesthetics. And eventually I went to a community college, but after community college, I was thinking, well, okay, I could transfer to a 4-year, or I could go to skin school. And initially my mom didn't really understand why I wanted to do skin. So I actually secretly like looked up like esthetician school tours, and I would go and tell my mom I was doing something else when really I was like visiting these schools. And when I went, I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like heaven. Like I want to do this. And I feel like at first when I told my parents that I wanted to go to beauty school, they were kind of confused also, because they're like, you don't really like to wear makeup, you don't really like to curl your hair, why are you going to beauty school? But what I had to tell them that this was so much more different than what people view beauty is. Like, this is why I want to get into the industry, because I want people to understand that it doesn't have to be this only one idea of what beauty is, that there's another way where we can look at our bodies on the inside and think, okay, well, what is the hidden meaning of what's coming externally? Our skin is our biggest organ in our whole body. So I truly believe that everything that happens underneath manifests outwards into our skin. And I really just want to highlight what beauty can be, and how it is really just the radiance within you and bringing that outwards versus trying to change everything externally. So that's kind of just how I got started. And ever since then, I've been loving it.
Wow, I love that story. And it's so true that what happens on the inside gets projected outside. It gets projected
Mhm.
through our bodies first, and then it gets projected out onto the view screen of our lives to
Yeah.
experience in physical form.
Mhm.
So we've all been taught that we have to look at the surface of, we look at the physical stuff, and we're told that if it's not physical, it's not real. Well, unfortunately, our soul, our inside, and they're not physical. They're in the energy around us, the vibration, the energy. It's the vibration and energy that are generating all of the things in our lives. So it really is about nurturing that inside.
Mhm.
So how long have you had your beauty business, your natural beauty?
It has been a journey, to say the least, because I graduated 2 weeks before we went on lockdown for COVID. So I'm very thankful I got to graduate and get out of there before everything got closed. And I got my license probably not too long after that, so in July of 2020. But unfortunately, I got my license like, whoa, like I can practice. I'm like, but I have to touch people, and I have to be close to people, and that's what they're saying we can't do. So I kind of had to put everything on pause. And during COVID, I ended up working at another place for a while. And I think during that time, I felt a little bit lost. I felt, as I started to work at another place, I started to not forget what I learned in school, but I started to lose my confidence because, for example, like when it comes to like my touch and the flow that I have, the pressure that I have, it felt so foreign to me again. It felt so weird to work so closely with people. But I definitely think that I needed to be uncomfortable in that workplace I was working at before to realize I didn't want to do this for the rest of my life. And it took a lot of self-doubt and belief for me to truly believe in myself. But it started, I believe, March of last year is when I started to realize that I wanted to start practicing again, and I didn't really want to wait on someone to hire me. I kind of wanted to do things on my own, just because there's so many different realms that aesthetics can go into. There's like medical spas, there's day spas, and while I absolutely respect and it's so interesting to learn about those realms of aesthetics, it's not really the kind that I'm really I felt aligned with. So I kind of wanted to start my own business. I started my mobile business, I believe, in March or April of last year. And then as much as I love doing mobile services, being an esthetician, carrying like a massage bed and like my train case and like everything, it was like 100 pounds of weight. And I was like, man, this isn't sustainable. Like I love what I'm doing, but it's the traveling part that's a little tricky.
Yeah.
So I started, I think it was around the time, I remember it was summertime, and I was just going on a morning walk, and I was praying. I was just thinking, I was like, wow, universe, like I love what I do, but I know this isn't sustainable. And I would love to have a place where I can work confidently and feel safe where I'm at. But unfortunately, rent is so expensive, and I'm just starting my business. I couldn't just automatically just open up a place. But thankfully, a really good friend of mine that has supported me throughout my journey of being in the beauty industry. She had a room, and she's there half the time, or there are a few days that she wasn't there. So luckily, she gave me the opportunity and the gift to share a space with her. So I'm so thankful. And I think I opened up my business and officially had everything launched in August. So I still consider it new and still a new baby of mine. But I'm loving the journey.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, lugging around a massage table is not,
It's not fun. It's not fun.
wow, but I love that because you went outside, you went inside and
Mhm.
asked, how do I do this? What's my next
Yeah.
step? And
Mhm.
you got clear about what it is you wanted, and then the opportunity unfolded.
It really did. It was asking you shall receive. For sure.
Exactly. So many people don't really understand that that's how the universe works.
Mhm.
And it's so natural and easy. And
Yes,
it's a
and I believe
really beautiful process.
it is. It's so beautiful, and like you said, it's easy. And I believe you're the one who taught me that, and thinking that the universe will give you what you put out. And if you're not ready, then it's gonna be like, okay, well, I guess you're not ready. It's still waiting for you, but we're just waiting until you're ready. So I definitely think that I had to go through those moments of believing that I'm ready, and then asking, hey, okay, now I'm ready. What do I do? How do I get there? I want to get there. I have the heart for it. I just don't know how. And then it just showed up. So I completely agree with you.
Yeah, life is meant to be fun. It's meant to be joyful and easy and playful. But it
Hmm.
really hasn't been for humanity for hundreds of thousands of years. But we are now at that tipping point where we are going to be flipping into this new paradigm of natural beauty and natural joy and ease and fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying something just before we went on.
Uh,
What you say?
yeah. Yeah, I've been picking up every single morning. I've been trying to make sure I have a very good morning routine, however that may be. Whatever, I try to make sure I separate a time for myself to do things that serve me and make me feel good to set up for a good day. And one thing I've been loving is journaling. Before I used to think like, oh, I don't know how to journal in the morning because I don't know what to write. But I recently had this daily journal, and one of the questions on there are, what are three affirmations for the day? And one thing that you taught me, I wrote in my journal when you and I worked together. So I wrote it as an affirmation was, my job in life is to play and be free. My only job in life is to play and be free. And every single morning when I read that, I look at my day as a playground. I'm like, all right, what are we gonna do today? Do you want to do on the jungle gym? What's the, we're doing on slide? Like it's so fun and more joyous and exciting rather than thinking like, okay, today I have to clean. Today I have to go to work. Versus it makes life just so fun. Like, who do I get to see today? Who can I meet at the playground today? It's so much more fun. And when you approach your day like that and you have a smile on your face, people see that. People are invited. People want to be are attracted to that because they want to feel happy. Who doesn't want to feel happy and excited about life? It's such a beautiful way to live, and it's such a beautiful thing to follow. So thank you for sharing that with me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing that with us. I popped it in the chat. So if anybody didn't have a pen and paper, just check the chat. My only job in life is to play and be free. That was that was my awareness when I was a really young child, 2 and 3 years
Mhm.
old. I would, I kind of was born awake in a, just a little different mindset than the rest of the world around me. And
Mhm.
I looked and, at 2 and 3, I could see that I was free to just play. I didn't have a schedule. I wasn't expected to go to work or earn a living, but I could see, school's coming down the road and, now the freedom kind of ends when you go to school. Like I could see
Mhm.
that was the set up so that we would then be in that mindset of just working. And then that's when the work overtakes the play, and life becomes all about work and not about the play. And that paradigm really, it got me. Like, I fell into that trap. I mean, I didn't see any other option, because you really can't just play if you don't have any money. And if you don't work, then you don't have money. So you have to go to work. And it was, it just set up this horrible, horrible trap that, I mean, we all get stuck in that trap. I mean, many have gotten stuck in that trap. The majority of humanity has been stuck in that trap for hundreds of thousands of years. But now, like, you are really not, you never got really stuck in that trap. You were able to see beyond that, and you now see life is meant to be fun and playful. And now you get to go to work, but it's fun, and you really love what you're doing, and it's not really work, because it's something you really truly enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. It's the mentality of getting yourself out of that cage and thinking, no, I'm free. There's nothing that's stopping me. There's nothing that's putting me within these bounds. Like, that's my playground, so I'm gonna go play. Like, there's no one's telling me I have to wait and I have to be here, and you can only play if you do this. Definitely, it's a whole mindset shift. But once you do that, you feel like the whole world is your oyster. It just feels such a fun time.
Right? This is absolutely, this is the time right here, right now, where the whole game shifts, where we move from, this is the great awakening, the shift of consciousness. And this is now where we move out of that work mode and the struggle to survive, and you got to earn a living. It's like, we're already living. We already earned the spot on the planet. There's nothing left to earn.
Yeah.
And we are going into that whole new paradigm now, where it is going to be all about play and enjoying ourselves and sharing our gifts and talents. And I think one of the things that makes you really unique is that you have gone inside and you've found something that really lights you up inside. And it's a gift that you have, that gift of touch and making people feel safe and loved, and helping them tap into that for themselves. So by sharing your gift, you're giving to everyone that you come in contact with, and you're amplifying that gift within yourself, because it feels really good to make other people feel good. So it really becomes a whole different type of living on this planet, and a whole different type of economy, because the people that come and give you money, they're giving you money, but they're literally giving themselves the gift of feeling good. So by gifting you some money, you're gifting them the opportunity back. And it's, I give myself the gift of a facial and then receive in return. And it becomes a gifting economy, where it's not about, oh, I have to go pay for this. It's going to cost me this amount of money. But it's like, no, I'm going to give myself this gift, this opportunity. And it helps us to shift the whole mindset around money as well.
Definitely. I used to have such a toxic relationship and view with money, because I used to hate money. I'd be like, ew, money, I hate it. Like, it brings the ugly in people. It gives people a different kind of drive to, things like that. And especially being a business owner, I was like, okay, here I am saying I hate money, but I kind of have to be responsible with money. Like, how do I do that? But I love the way how you said, and I believe you mentioned this a while ago, how money is nothing but an energy exchange. And now I feel like that's completely shifted how I view things. So for example, when it comes to me receiving maybe a beauty service, I could go to anybody, but it depends. You know, for me, I want to be intentional with who I go to, because you're choosing to spend time with this person. You're choosing to receive their gifts, receive their talents, but you want to make sure that they take care of you in the way that you're going to feel good. So now, whenever I do, for example, if I were to get maybe my nails done, I'll think, okay, well, who do I want to go to that I feel safe enough to give my hands to? Who do I feel safe enough to exchange time with and to have these conversations with? So when I'm happy with my nails and I pay them, it's not even feeling like, oh, how much do I owe you? It's just, how can I show my gratitude of thank you for the gift that you've given me, and giving it, paying that forward and viewing it as an unconditional loving gift versus thinking like, oh, I just owe you this much. Or, you know, like it's so much more of a different approach when you view money that way, as just an energetic exchange. That's all it is.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and there are so many people out there. I mean, I'm super guilty of it, as not guilty, but you know, sharing your gifts for money. You know, I had this distortion. What, I was a super talented figure skater, and I was a really good teacher of figure skating, and I taught my students they learned really, really well. But because I was in this mindset of I have to do this in order to get money, the money became the focus. And even though I was really passionate about what I did, I was still doing it because I had to get some money in order to live. And when you're doing something because of money, I'm just thinking about your situation, in that if somebody's being an esthetician just because they need to have money, they're not going to have that same energy as you, who is doing this because you really care and want to do this, and it's people and inner beauty first. It's making people feel safe, and that's the primary focus. The money then comes naturally in return for that.
Yes.
You know, it's completely backwards from the way that we've all been trained about, you have to go get a job.
Yeah.
So I love this conversation. Michelle says, this is so good. My daughter is a struggling esthetician. I can't wait to send her this.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. And I feel like there is no esthetician that goes through the same journey ever. I've spoken to some of my classmates from school. I've spoken to some friends that went to school after me, and everybody's journey is so different. And it's so scary and daunting, because you know you have the will inside of you, and you feel like you're waiting for an opportunity for someone to see that in you. At least that's where it was for me. Before I started my mobile business, I was applying everywhere. I was applying at all kinds of spots. I'm like, I'm willing to like be paid the lowest amount. I just want to be seen. I just want to be seen and accepted in the industry. And I actually worked at a place for only 2 weeks. Because while I'm very appreciative of the opportunity that I was given over there, again, I felt like the way they were doing things and their morals and values just didn't align with mine. And forcing myself in a situation I didn't feel right in, you feel that in your body. Like, I would feel anxious going into work. I would feel dreadful. And I'm thinking, that's not how I feel about aesthetics. That's not how I feel about self-care. Like, I love this stuff. It makes me feel so grounded and safe and good. And the fact that I'm feeling this, like, it's my body's indication saying this isn't it. Like, the idea, I love it, but the action isn't really following what you need. And it definitely had to take a lot of me being uncomfortable to feel, all right, what can I do to make myself feel comfortable in my body again? What can I do that's going to make me feel secure about what I'm doing and feel right about it? So I'm so glad that this could possibly help anybody, because I truly believe that everyone deserves to follow whatever makes them happy. And it's hard to figure out how we could do that, but it's not impossible. You just gotta feel your body and feel whatever feels good to you. And that's all you need.
Exactly. You know, there's a beautiful little place here in Lake Placid called the Adirondack Foot Sanctuary. And it's all about doing foot soaks and lower leg massages, shoulder massages. They do manicures and pedicures. And primarily It is for allowing people a safe and sacred space to come and relax and be pampered and to feel at ease. And it is such a magical place. The first time I got that I went and had a treatment, I literally just cried because it was just, oh my gosh, I just felt so nurtured and cared for. And it made all the difference. Of course, she's a business owner and she needs to gain revenue, but the money is not the primary focus. The people and the experience is the primary focus.
Yeah.
And because of that, she has a thriving business. So do you think that the spas that you were working, the one that you worked out for 2 weeks, do you think that maybe was it the money that was the primary focus for that place? Or was it, do you think that it was still that safe and nurturing space was the primary focus?
Honestly, I think it was a little bit of both. I definitely believe that my boss at the time, I can tell that she was really stressed about money, just because I would overhear her talking about it with her husband who did her business with her. And there were some things that I didn't really necessarily agree with. Again, I think it's when you see the intention of it, it doesn't feel right performing it because that's not your intention. There was a moment where someone came in, she had a lot of acne scarring. So she was like, hey, I really need help with this. I want to fade it. Like, it doesn't make me feel good. And of course, you know, you want to make sure that when someone comes in and they're coming with their skin concerns, you want to treat it so gently and you want to give it so much more compassion and not make them feel like they have something wrong with them, but more so, okay, this is what you want. I want to help you with that. Not pointing out their issues and saying, oh yeah, we need to fix that. You know, you have to do it more from a loving place. And I've seen her my manager, the way she approached it, I didn't really like that because she kind of pointed out like, oh yeah, you have lots of scarring. We need to get rid of that. And I didn't like that because there's nothing wrong with your skin how it is. There's nothing wrong. It's more so what can I do to make you just feel good internally so that way it shows externally. And yeah, she immediately recommended a service that was super, super expensive, and very, very aggressive. And I felt like that wasn't really needed. And then so she told the client like, okay, why don't you go to the room and Nicole will take care of you. And immediately she's like, okay, Nicole, you're going to do like this service, blah, blah, blah. And it's a lot of money. I know it's worth a lot of money. And I was telling my boss, was like, well, to be honest, I don't really think that's necessary because I feel like we should take a more gentle approach. And also I've never trained with this specific brand that you want me to use. And then she was just like, well, just read the directions in the box and then just do that. I was like, I am not doing that. Like if she wanted to read the directions on her box and do it herself, she could have done that. She came to for professional help. And yeah, the idea of like, I think she just wanted I don't want to assume, but like it just seemed like things were just being pushed very forward before it can be stopped. And I didn't like that at all. And I, like you said, I just felt the intention of it. And it just felt very just nasty. Like I just didn't want it. Like I just didn't feel right taking her money. I was like, I politely to my manager, I was like, I'm not taking this client. I'm not taking her money. I'm not doing that for this. This is not it. This is not a gift I want to give her. So yeah, I felt very, very relieved that I left that place. As thankful as I am of the opportunity, it taught me a lot about myself and just how to push myself forward in the way that feels good to me and true to me.
Wow, I love that. Congratulations for staying true to your heart and soul.
Thank you.
Integrity is so needed these days because that whole money distortion, you know, people sell their soul for dollars. And you know, to have somebody that is so grounded within themselves and to be able to stay in alignment with your values is really, really important. And I think for anybody doing any business, you're really doing it from the heart. You know, I mean, even with my own business here, you know, I'm guilty of it too, starting out like, you know, I have to have some sort of a job to make money. So I'm going to, you know, sell what I know. And even though I was doing, you know, I was still giving people excellent information and guidance, and there was still like a little disconnect. And but once I was really able to come from the heart and just realize, you know what, I have a mission on this planet. I signed up for this gig. Somehow I am here, I am in the thick of things. I signed
Yeah.
up because, and I realized I was given this opportunity to be here right now for a reason. And that if I completely focus on creating heaven on earth and getting people to see that they have the ability to be healthy, wealthy, wise, happy, be the best version of themselves they can be. If I just keep that as my full focus, then everything else is going to fall into place. And
Yes.
like I don't really think about the money part too much anymore. And
Mhm.
I really flipped that whole, you know, this is a gift. We're all gifting and receiving from each other. And it really turns everything around, you know, to be able to create your business from such a solid foundation of
Mhm.
I want to make these people feel good about themselves. I want to do anything I can to help them feel good,
Mhm.
right? Like that is the solid foundation that really can't be, you know, broken down. Like that's going to sustain you for the rest of your career because people feel
Exactly.
that. That's that inner beauty. That's the natural beauty.
And I love how I love how this kind of plays into how we were saying that our job in life is to play and be free, because I think I was reading a book not too long ago, and it said the exact sentence said, if it isn't enjoyable, it isn't sustainable. And I feel like that is why it's so common that people, when it comes to starting a business and wanting to do something, or not, it doesn't have to be a business, but doing anything that you want to do, it it feels so daunting because we automatically think, oh, we're gonna fail. Like people aren't gonna want to support whatever we're doing. And we start to get in this mindset of like, oh, I need to do this because, like you said, I need to do this because I need money. I need to do this because I need to survive. And having that mindset, that's not fun. That's not enjoyable. So eventually you're gonna crash. It's not sustainable. It's not gonna stay long term, because if you're constantly trying to chase things outside, it's never gonna you're gonna be putting that energy of being in deprivation versus thinking, I love this. This makes me happy. I love to play. I want this makes me happy. I want to attract people in that same realm so that way I can provide them what makes me happy so that I can make them feel good as well. And then like you said, it brings that constant loop of just exchanging good energy, good energy. And with that, you want to show up every single day. You don't get drained. You want to play every single day, and it is sustainable to live a life that way, for sure.
Exactly. And when you have that flow of energy, it's like the
Mm-hmm.
snowball rolling down the hill. It just keeps growing and getting
Mm-hmm.
bigger because energy draws unto itself. So when
Yeah.
we have that momentum going, you know, you end up not even having to advertise because that energy just draws the people in
Mm-hmm.
and it just simply grows organically,
Mm-hmm.
naturally.
That word just be going in my head naturally. I'm liking though. I'm liking it.
Michelle says, this is giving me chills and making me feel very emotional, a good emotional. So,
Oh,
such inspiration.
oh, I love it. That makes me so so happy. Happy to have you here, Michelle.
Yes, love Michelle. And Keith says, if it isn't fun, make it fun, is what
There
his
you go,
wife
Keith.
Mara says.
Love Mara. Thank you, Mara.
Yes. Yeah, you know, life is we're not meant to work, you know, we're not meant to be slaves here on this
Mm-hmm.
planet. But you know, it has been that way for a really long time because as beings of light, we chose to come here and explore limitation. We came here to explore the who we are not. You know, as infinite beings, you know, we're just kind of hanging out going, huh, you know, what would be fun now? And it's like, well, let's go explore limitation. What would it be like if we weren't infinite? If
Yeah.
we weren't unlimited, what would it be like? So we created this whole game on this incredible planet filled with nature and beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this planet is abundant with life, gives us everything we need.
Everything we need. Mm-hmm.
It's the Garden of Eden, and it's designed to give us everything we need for free. So we designed this game where nothing is free. We have to pay for everything. We have to work for everything. We have to struggle for everything. You know, people hoard things, and you know, it's been a really fun game. It's been, you know, incredible for infinite beings to be able to explore that much limitation. When you think about it, it's like, wow, that was pretty incredible to be able to experience the exact opposite of who you are. So, but now we're at the tipping point. It's kind of, we've explored the game, you know, we talk about the box, you know, this box of limitation. And the great thing about limitation is that it's limited. So there's only a limited amount we can explore. So we've gotten the box down to really, really, really little. And now it's like, okay, now before you actually implode the entire planet, let's let's get rid of the box now.
Yeah, toss that away.
The game. So now we're getting rid of the box. So now, instead of doing the work for a living thing, now it is time for us to play. And it's time for the light to lead this planet. And it is time to lighten things up. It's time to return to nature. It's time to start living in peace and harmony with nature instead of fighting against her and trying to control nature. And instead of having surface beauty, which is so distorted, airbrushed and made up, and it's time for us to return to nature and natural beauty, which comes from inside. So for what I see is one of the reasons that your business thrives is because it's built on the new paradigm of, I do this because I love this and I want to contribute to others. So by wanting to gift to others, you then start receiving. So the new paradigm is we give a gift first. So first and foremost, I'm going to give myself the gift of being able to make other people feel good, because I feel good when I do that. So you started your business by giving that gift. And then you started receiving gifts of money in return. So this is always sustainable. That when I look at sacred economy, it's like when we give our gift freely first, then we receive in abundance, in excess, far more than what we originally gave. So for anybody who's looking to start a business, consider starting it from the gift that you're giving, and then watch everything come in return.
Yes, I think it's getting started and having the emotion of choosing to give your gift unconditionally, and like you said, it'll come back your way tenfold. I think that's exactly the best way to word it. And I think that's kind of, now that I'm thinking of it, when you're bringing it up, that's what I used to do unconsciously too. I love what I do. So I remember one time I might have been at a house party at my friend's place, and we were just like having a good time. And my friends are asking like, oh, how's beauty school going? I'm like, oh, it's going pretty well. I love what I do. And they're asking what I do. And keep in mind, this is like at 11 p.m. and I'm like at my friend's house, and, you know, we're all just having a good time. And then one of them was like, oh yeah, like I would love to like see what you do. And I was like, I would love to show you what I do. I would love to make you feel good. Like, you know, and he's like, oh, I can pay you, I can visit you at school. I'm like, no, like I just want to do it just to have a good time. So I called my brother. I was like, hey, do you want to go to so and so's like house party? And he was just like, why? I was like, do you want to bring my spa stuff? And he's just like, what kind of party is this? And he was like, I thought you guys were like making pizza rolls like 10 minutes ago, and now you want me to bring your skincare stuff? And I was like, yeah, bring it over. And then when he brought it over, I ended up doing like mini facials on everybody. But it wasn't even because I wanted to. I didn't even have my business at the time. It's just because I wanted to, just because it felt good, just because it made me happy to see them relax and enjoy, and like they giggle because they're like, oh my God, this is so fun. Like that's already a gift to me in itself. And I feel like that kind of definitely built like the momentum of just attracting what I was putting out. So I love the way you worded that.
Wow, that's amazing. So walk us through the process of getting a facial. What happens when somebody comes to you?
Yeah, so when they get a facial, I've kind of like learned. So when I was in school, they really taught us a very like step-by-step protocol of like do this, do this, do this. But I've noticed that between each step, there's different segues to to kind of add on different things that make me feel good and that makes others feel good. So typically when I first start my service, um, typically you cleanse the face first, but I feel like when you're traveling to get to an appointment, you know, usually we're kind of rushing, we want to get there on time, there's traffic and the freeway, like there's a lot of things that can throw our energies off, and it makes the idea of getting a facial or going out to get the service more stressful than what it is. So usually when I have my clients lay down, I usually tuck them in. I usually have like a nice like heating pad underneath them. They have a blanket. I tuck them in like a little burrito. And I ask them how they're feeling. I like to ask how they're feeling, how they're doing. And it's more common than not that I feel like a lot of my clients say that they're feeling very stressed, that they're feeling overwhelmed, and that they've been looking forward to that moment to just decompress, turn off their phone, and be taken care of, which makes me really happy. And I start off my service with deep belly breaths. I maybe like within the past years when I started to learn about the power of breathing within your belly versus your lungs. I believe when you breathe into your lungs, you're triggering your fight or flight response, your sympathetic nervous system. But when you breathe into your stomach, you're triggering your parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest, reminding your body that it is safe and it can remain in a space of homeostasis. So I usually guide my clients to do a few deep belly breaths just so they can let go and not feel like they have to respond or focus on anything externally, and they can just relax within their body. So I love to start with that. And from there on, I'll cleanse their face. I cleanse their face twice. I'll go over their skin concerns, ask them what they see and what they would, if I ask them if there's anything that I could do that would make you feel good walking out of here, what would that be? What is your concern? Because some people clients will point something out that I didn't even notice, that I thought was beautiful, or I thought was, nothing was wrong with that. So it's really interesting to see how people view themselves, and reminding them that there's nothing wrong with your skin. There's nothing wrong at all. If this is something that you want to work on, then I'm happy to help you, but you are perfect the way you are. But if this is going to make you feel good, then I'm happy to help you along the way. And then from there, then I'll exfoliate the skin. Usually when I exfoliate the skin, I love that I use fruit enzymes that have no fragrance. So it's just, you really get to enjoy the natural aromatics of like flowers in there, of fruits, of just feeling like you're just feeling very grounded. You just feel like for me, I feel like I'm on a beach, like in nature. One of my enzymes smells like coconut papaya, and I just feel like I'm on vacation when I have it on, which feels so, so beautiful. And while that sits on for 10 minutes. I used to, when I was in school, when we would have the exfoliation process, you have to let it sit for about 7 to 10 minutes. And before, I was kind of just taught to just sit there and just wait, maybe clean up, but I didn't really like that. I figured if I was cleaning while the service is happening, my client might feel rushed, that things were, that I'm trying to like get them out of there. So I realized during that time while I exfoliate their skin, I could massage their hands, I could massage their arms, really just help them feel just ease free, like no tension, no, because sometimes during services I'm like this, like I don't notice I'm like clenching my fists. So I feel like it helps to just really ease the hands, hit a few points in the hands to just help the body feel grounded. And then From there, I will do extractions. You might have seen like on social media. Have you seen like Dr. Pimple Popper? Like those like crazy videos of like of doing extractions. Luckily for me, it doesn't get that crazy. But I'll do a mild version of that. And then yeah, and then after that, I'll do like a face mask. Usually that's targeted towards their concerns, whatever that may be. And my favorite part while the face mask sit is when I massage the upper body, the back. I do like scalp massages. Those are my favorite. And I have like music playing. I like to ask my clients what sounds make them relax. So sometimes I'll play like music with lyrics. I'll play frequencies. I'll play like nature sounds, just whatever makes them feel good. It makes them feel fully relaxed. So that's my favorite part. Usually that's when my clients fall asleep. But it makes me happy though, because if they fell asleep, I know that they had a good time and they were able to sneak in a little nap. And then after the face mask, then I'll just do some finishing skincare products and then just walk them through how to take care of the skin when it comes to their home routine. But yeah, that's kind of like in a nutshell, that's what my service looks like. But I definitely every single service I do is very different depending on what they want, and I kind of just customize every single product and every step towards my client. But that's typically the general idea of what goes on.
Wow, I want to come and get a facial from Nicole.
I would love to do a facial for you, Lisa. I would love to just take care of you. That'd be so fun for me,
Oh.
honestly. You've taken care of me so many times, so I would love to take care of you sometime.
Wow, I would love that. I wish we weren't on the opposite sides of the
I
country.
know. I know. Sometimes I forget that. Sometimes I think I'm like, is Lisa like really that far? Like, is she just not like here? Like, is she not nearby?
I may be taking a little trip out west in a couple of months, so we'll keep you posted. see where we end up. Beautiful. Wow. So you are in the Bay Area.
Yes.
So if people want to find you, where do they go how do they find you in the Bay Area?
So my studio that I work at is in Castro Valley. It's about maybe 15 minutes away from where I'm at. I'm kind of like Union City, Fremont, Hayward area. So a lot of my clients are from that Tri-City area. And they go to Castro Valley to see me for my service. But as of right now, usually all of my I don't like to say advertising because I don't really feel like I advertise, but usually the where I share about my business and what I'm excited about and passionate about, I usually share that through my Instagram, through social media. I'm still in the process of getting a website and everything, but I figured the way I viewed it was that for me personally, I get very uncomfortable when it comes to like feeling like I need to sell myself. And I felt like through social media, if I represent myself and my life the way it is and the way naturally like it comes to me, then and if I share my passions through, for example, social media, then the people that enjoy like my values and beliefs will naturally come to me and they'll find me through there. And luckily it's pretty cool that my social media initially, I follow and have people follow me from like high school or from college or people that I've met like, randomly. But it's so interesting to see which one of those people out of that group comes to see me because they felt aligned with what I do. And it's completely, I've had it both ways where I've had maybe someone come to me and say like, hey, like I kind of want to get this service done. And maybe it's like a medical service. It's very more more aggressive. And I'll politely tell them like, hey, like, thank you so much for supporting my business. Unfortunately, I don't provide that, but I would love to point you to a direction to an esthetician who does a great job with that. And then I've also had another client come to me saying, hey, like I used to go to this person, but I love your idea of holistic beauty and I love the way you carry your services. So I felt more aligned with you. And I feel like naturally putting myself out there of just how I am and not overthinking it, I'll naturally attract the clients that are meant for me. And that's how I wanted it to be. I never wanted to come off as I just want to sell myself and get as much money and as much clients as I can and have a fully booked, full books. And as much as I would love that, and I do believe it'll happen, I would much rather have it slow and steady and attract the things that I want and have clients that support me in what I do. And that way I can give my gift to them as well and feel really good about it. And it's just a really positive and uplifting exchange that way.
Wow, what a beautiful way to create a natural business.
Thank you.
It's so sustainable that way. I mean, it really, you can't go wrong. because people are drawn to natural beauty. And the more we see the external paradigms starting to fade away, the more people are going to be drawn to nature and natural beauty and natural business practices, organic business practices, where it's about the client, it's about that heartfelt sharing of gifts and talents. Because when we're all here sharing our gifts and talents, we came in with specific gifts and talents that we're here to share. And when we're here to share them and we do that, we're all adding to heaven on earth. And this is where we're heading. So as you're talking about this, you're really giving a beautiful demonstration of what it is to create a natural, sustainable business. I love that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm still trying to learn new things every single day and kind of just go along and learn, just go riding along the wave and just trying to learn things every single day. But I like to think I feel really good about with the way I've been carrying myself. And while I'm still feeling like every single day is my first day, I'm enjoying the time and I'm enjoying the ride. And I feel like that's all that matters to me, is that I'm enjoying my time. So that's important to me. So
I love that. Keith says, let's see. Keith says, my whole business has been built on giving first. And I am here to serve, to love, to be love in action. Exactly.
Yes, I absolutely love that. I love that, Keith.
Right? And we are the answer we've been searching for. Exactly. Yeah. This is the time where we start really shining and creating heaven on earth, because it's time for all those old paradigms to go away. They were never sustainable, and we're going to be seeing a lot of old paradigms going away in a pretty big hurry in the next short period of time. So having a sustainable business like that, you will know that you will always be taken care of, because you are taking care of others. So that's that sustainable giving and receiving, and it's always going to be that way. So you'll never have to go into worry about, oh no. So I really love that. Thank you so much for sharing about this. So what advice would you give to somebody starting out as in their esthetician business?
Starting out, I definitely think that it's important to have a seat with yourself, and the gifts that you learned in aesthetic school, practice that on yourself, and not in a way where feeling like, oh, I need to make this perfect, so I have to find perfectionism in what I do, but taking time to yourself and thinking, okay, how can I take this gift that I was given, that someone taught me, and how can I give that to myself? And taking time to have a self-care night, self-care day, and do your gifts for yourself and feel how good it feels, and feeling, wow, this is so magical and special. How can I give this? Like, this is too good that I can't just keep it to myself. I have to give it to others. And once you take care of yourself, that self-love will radiate, and that self-love will just expand to just everyone around you. And the way you are so willing to love and care for others will show, and people will be attracted to that. And I feel like that's the best way to get started, is loving yourself in the way that you need. So that way you're ready to love the people around you and take care of those as well. And people will see that, and people will trust you and feel safe with you. And from then on, I feel like everything's just a ripple effect. It all begins for me. It sounds really cheesy, but I really do believe that it all comes from self-love and self-care on the inside.
I love that. It is so true. If we don't love ourselves, we can't love other people, because we don't have that solid foundation. We're always trying to make sure that we're doing something, that we're not rocking the boat, because we don't want other people to not love us, because we already don't love us. So, but when we love ourselves, then that just radiates out. So giving the gift to yourself first. So it's always a gift, that everything becomes that gift. I love it. Wow, Nicole, what great advice. What a beautiful conversation. I can't wait to come and get a facial from you. And if anybody
Oh,
is in the Bay Area, Castro Valley, go see Nicole and give yourself the gift of being nurtured and cared for. Michelle says, this has made me so happy listening to you both. A great way to start the day. Michelle, thank you so
oh,
much for joining
thank
us this
you.
morning. And
Oh my goodness. And
yeah,
Lisa, thank you so much for having me. Like when you asked me to be on here, I really could not be happier just because I get to spend time with you. That already was a gift in itself. So the fact that we get to be here and have like Keith and Mara and Michelle, like it makes me happy that we get to be here on this beautiful Sunday morning. And I feel like I couldn't have started my Sunday any better. So thank you for just sharing your time and energy with me. And after any time that I spend with you, I always feel super just uplifted and happy and just high vibration. So I'm excited to have my day and play and have fun and just like expand the energy you shared with me. So I'm having a wonderful day. So thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy that I got to be here with you.
oh, well, I am super happy to have you here too. And I definitely hope you will come back again and we can have some more conversation.
I would love to. I would love to.
Great. Wow. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's always a pleasure to do SOULution Sunday because the soul is the solution. So on this beautiful day, what gift can you give to yourself to make yourself feel special, to make yourself feel loved and beautiful? Can you allow your own inner beauty to shine through? No matter what your face looks like, no matter what your body looks like, no matter what your finances look like, you have inner beauty. Can you tap in and feel the love and the beauty inside, and then allow it to pour forth into the outside for all in the house to see? Nicole, thank you. So is there a way that they can reach you to do an appointment?
Yes. So typically everything I do is run through my Instagram. My Instagram is nics.dzn. So it's NICS.dzn. But I also have an email. It's naturalbeautywithnics@gmail.com. Yeah. So usually you can reach me through either one of those.
All right. Natural Beauty with Nics. I'm typing. I'm not good at typing and doing this at the same time. So y'all gotta just kind of hang out with me here for a second. gmail.com. All righty. So if you are looking, if you're on Facebook, I typed the email into the chat. I will put the Instagram into the chat as well. And if you are watching on Facebook, check the show notes and those links will be there for you. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to sign up, to subscribe to my channel, please. Come every
Please,
Sunday.
there's a lot of goodness here, a lot of magical goodness happening here every single day.
Beautiful. Nicole, we wish you so much success with your business. We know that it is growing and organically and naturally and beautifully. And you are the most beautiful soul ever. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being here with us this morning.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for having me. And I really do hope we get to chat soon because I miss spending time with my soul sister. So I really had a wonderful time. Thank you.
Great. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Have a beautiful day and create for yourselves a beautiful week. Until
Yes.
next Sunday, create for
All right.
yourselves a great week. See you next week. Bye for
See you
now.
all.